Hello everyone, I'm Prasad Kadam and today we are looking at a Superstore data analysis project. In this project, we are going to analyze an online store that operates in United States. Our task is to analyze the sales and profit of the store and check the factors contributing towards growth and decline in sales and profit. So first we are gonna import all the required libraries and set our matplotlib inline so that all the graphs that we are gonna plot will be plotted in the notebook itself. Here we are storing our data into a retail variable, and this retail variable is now a data frame. In the same way, we can check that there are multiple columns. To be accurate, there are total 13 columns and 9,994 transaction entries. So each row in this data frame is a transaction and each column has a particular attribute. Here our main focus is on sales and profit. We can see here there are no missing values in our data frame. Here we can see the number of unique values that are available in each column. So the ship mode has 4 unique values, segment has 3, country has 1. So as we discussed earlier, this data is about only one country, that is United States. So that's why the country column has only one unique value, and there are a lot of other columns having all the unique values. We will be focusing on sales and profit in our analysis. Let's see further. So as I said, the unique value in our country column is United States. There were 4 unique values in a ship mode column, that is second class, standard class, first class and same day. This refers to the delivery option that people have to choose from. Then there is segment which correspond to the type of customers that this store has, that is consumer, corporate and home office. Here we have listed out all the states that is available in the given data. So in total there are 49 states in here, but in actual there are 50. So one of the states is missing, that we will see further. In category, the unique columns are, unique values are furniture, office supplies and technology. So what we are doing here, we are grouping all the data by segment and calculating its sum and mean and storing them in these particular variables. We're going to use these variables, that these data frames, plot our graphs. So here we are looking at the total number of profits and sale made by segment. So below we can see the two graphs that shows the profit. Here we can see the consumer is highest in the total profit and home office is the lowest. Same way with the total sales, consumer is the highest and the home office is the lowest. Now when we see the profit and sales per transaction, we can see that the home office makes more profit per transaction than rest of the two, and in the sales segment, home office is again the highest, but they are not far from each other. Now we are grouping the data by the state and calling the sum and mean methods on it and storing them in these particular variables. Here we can see a bar plot of the total profit made by each state. So in this bar plot we can see that California and New York, these two states are standing out of all the states in terms of total profit, and there are few states that are in losses, while the other majority of the states are in average or lower profit range. But when we see the profit per transaction, we can see the same California and the New York, which were outperforming in the total profits. Here they are boiled down to the average profit per transaction, whereas the Vermont is performing very high in the profit per transaction. This means that sales in Vermont are lesser than the New York and California, but the profit made per sale is highest in the Vermont, whereas you can see here the California and New York are making a lot of profit in total because their sales are also high. Now, as we seen here, there are 10 states which are in negative. That means they are making loss. Now, let's look at these states and analyze them. Here we are grouping our data by the category and calling the sum and mean method as we did earlier and storing them into variables. Now, by looking at them, we can see that furniture makes the least profit out of all the three, where technology is leading out of all the three. If we see the total sales, the furniture, office supply, and technologies are not far from each other, yet the furniture makes the lowest profit out of the three. Now, if we analyze it by per transaction, the same profit per transaction made is highest in the technology, whereas furniture and office supplies are very low, and sales made in technology and furniture are highest, where the office supplies are the lowest. Now we're going to plot a geographical map. In this we are going to plot our data on the US map. What we have did here is we have created a dictionary with name and its abbreviation, so we can use this abbreviation while plotting our US map. Here we have created another column called abbrev, which corresponds to abbreviation of the state in that column. We are going to use plotly library to plot our geographical data. Here we are using this data and layout to plot our geographical map. So this geographical plot shows the total profit of each state. As we seen earlier, the states like California and New York are very high on the scale, whereas the Texas, Illinois, Ohio, all these states which are darker blue in color are in losses. In the same way, we are going to plot the mean profits, that is profit made per transaction, on the graph. Here you can see now the states like California and New York are in the average range, while the state like Vermont is exceeding all the states. So from the analysis till now, we have concluded that there are 10 states in the US that are performing very low in terms of profit. So what we'll do is separate them out in a different data frame and analyze it separately. Here I have created a variable named PPS. This stands for poor performing states. What we'll do is we'll isolate all the poor performing states in this data frame. So as we did earlier, here we are grouping our data by the segment and calling the sum and mean method off of it. Here you can see the two graphs of total profit and total sales, where the consumer is highest in the loss and also highest in the sales, which is followed by corporate segment and home office. So what this graph means is that the profit and sales in poor performing states are inversely proportional to each other. That means the higher the sales goes, the higher the losses are going in these states. If we look at profit per transaction and sales per transaction, they are not far from each other. All these states are equally performing poor in both the sections. Now we are grouping the data by the category column and calling the sum and mean of it. Here we can see the total profit, that means which is in negative. This is the loss graph. So the furniture has the highest loss, followed by the office supplies and then the technology, whereas the total sales in technology is the highest, then followed by furniture, then followed by office supplies. And if we see the profit per transaction and sales per transaction, furniture is making the highest loss per transaction, while technology and office supplies are on equal level, and the sales per transaction, technology is the highest, followed by the furniture and office supplies. So what do we understand from this analysis? So we can conclude that the business needs to work on the 10 states where it's performing very poorly and needs to absolutely work on its furniture category as well as the consumer segment in these 10 states. which is the major factor causing the loss to it. So thank you for watching. I will be uploading this notebook on my GitHub. The link to GitHub will be in description and links to my other socials as well. If you like this analysis, consider subscribing and following my other socials as I will be uploading more content soon. Until next time.